This is the Rocky Mountain Dragon Atiba, and you're listening to RMP Radio.
RMP Radio is back on the air. Hi, I am your host, Mr. Fourth Row, and we are here to serve you a great helping of the next Rocky Mountain Pro live event. And when I say we, of course, my partner in crime on the preview episodes here at RMP Radio, I got the Encyclopedia of RMP, Lucas Bradwell. Lucas, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. We just got through spooky season, and now we are about to dive right into all the goodies, the stuffing, the mashed potatoes, but there won't be any thanks to be given because no Thanksgiving is right around the corner.
Yeah, and what we ought to first do is, since this is being a premium live event for Rocky Mountain Pro this year, it's we're doing all the pomp and circumstance with it. Maybe would you like to enlighten the listeners on the history of where No Thanksgiving came from when it comes to the Rocky Mountain Pro?
Yeah, it was actually the name was given by one Vince Russo when he was writing. It was one of his first pay-per-view type big events that he came up with when he started writing for us back in 2016. He took over that summer. We were scheduled to do national television. Unfortunately, that didn't work out, but he had his first big event that was written was for November, which came up with No Thanksgiving. So we've kind of kept that name for certain events that we've had in the past right around this time of year. Last year, we did a kind of a special Thanksgiving Day special that we called No Thanksgiving, that we were showing previously unreleased footage from some of our house shows. And we put that together as a kind of a Thanksgiving special last year. And so, yeah, this is the first official year of an actual pay-per-view during the month of November that we call No Thanksgiving. So it's kind of finally coming together with the history that is, this time of year. We kind of start looking into the new year, but, we kind of are wrapping things up and giving everyone a chance to, celebrate around the holidays with the great Rocky Mountain Pro action. So looking forward to this event.
Yeah, because we do have that big gap from Shocktober to Aces Wild. So what a great place for this to end up. Even though, Shocktober was just a short little while ago, but, this still is a lot of things are still happening in Rocky Mountain Pro, and a lot of things do need to be given around the RMP locker room to certain individuals, huh?
Absolutely, yeah. We got a lot of things going on as far as, still there's still some unfinished business. There's some bad blood going on in the Rocky Mountain Pro locker room. And, I think having another event to kind of culminates what's been going on, I think it's a good thing, not only for the RMP faithful, but also for this RMP roster to let out a little more aggression and frustration that's been possibly boiling over.
True, so true. So we, of course, we will have a pre-show for No Thanksgiving just like we normally would for any other pay-per-view. The only thing that we know for certain is that you mentioned that, I think, on last night's episode of Recharged with the Dudes and Belts, that Balen Lynx is scheduled to appear. He'll be in action in the pre-show, but who knows in what capacity that's going to be. And also too, you just mentioned unfinished business. We could possibly see him too. I would guess maybe even in the main card, making an appearance or two, because there's some stuff going on there still.
Well, Lobo Loco Balaam, that's the crazy wolf. He still, I think, had some bad feelings towards one Echo Busan. So you got to think maybe that he'll have his eye on that tag team title match that'll be coming up that we'll be talking about later on. But you got to think he'll be having a close eye on that one.
Yeah, so true. So let's get into the card that we do have announced for the show. We just starting off here from the list. We've been seeing we're talking about partnerships, and you and I doing the preview episodes of the pay-per-views. How your former partner there on the Ignition commentating. We got Derek Stone and hopefully Lord Mitchell Taylor, versus Smoke and Mirrors in a tag team. We've been seeing a lot of wishy-washy, not really certain that those two are going to, the previous two are going to tag up to take on Smoke and Mirrors. But what else do you see on here and your thoughts?
Well, apparently it's okay to call Lord Mitchell Taylor Mitchie. At least that's what Derek Stone calls him. I don't think Lord Mitchell Taylor likes that too much, but maybe I get away with it. I'll call him Mitchie. But it looks to be that Derek Stone, has been for quite a while trying to get him and Lord Mitchell Taylor on the same page, back as a tag team. Lord Mitchell Taylor there for a while was basically dismissing Derek Stone. Didn't really want to have anything to do with Derek Stone. Didn't really want him to have him be his friend. Didn't want him as a tag team partner. But it looked to be that Lord Mitchell Taylor finally came around. Derek Stone finally stood up to Lord Mitchell Taylor. He gave him a piece of his mind, told him that you're not going to find a better friend or a tag team partner than me. We should do this thing. And, they were scheduled to have a tag team match at Shocktober. That didn't work out. Unfortunately, Lord Mitchell Taylor wasn't able to make that flight. Dak Draper helped out Derek Stone. But it looks to be this time that we're going to have that tag match. It wasn't what Lord Mitchell Taylor had expected or what he was hoping for. He was hoping for that they would get a tag team title match against Choppa City. But, you haven't seen Derek Stone or Lord Mitchell Taylor team up for quite a long time. It's not like they can just get a title shot right away. I think this is a good opportunity for them to take on a team that's been established with Smoke and Mirrors. Even though Smoke and Mirrors, their win-loss record hasn't been very good, they've been an impressive tag team. I think they've shown some promise. They look like that they're just, one just step away from really taking that turn of being a great tag team. I think if they can, just put it all together, and if they could pull off an upset against Lord Mitchell Taylor and Derek Stone at No Thanksgiving, what will that do for Smoke and Mirrors and their careers? Because, they're both essentially in their rookie years,
right?
Especially Mick Diamond. Cushman has been doing this for a little bit longer, but really they're just, two young men that have been trying to figure things out. It looks to be they're on the cusp. It would be huge if they can pull this off. But it'd also be huge for Derek Stone and Lord Mitchell Taylor. They get a win in the tag team division. Who knows what happens after that? So a lot at stake in this matchup.
Yeah, like you kind of are alluding to, the Stone and Taylor want to get that tag team championship shot, but they haven't been together, so the eyes haven't been on them for for the booking committee, the championship committee, to even consider them to be get a title shot. So this is going to be the opportunity for them to do that.
Yeah, this is the opportunity for them to do it in front of President Dean, and to really make a name for themselves, because individually, there's no doubt about it. Lord Mitchell Taylor and Derek Stone, they've done a lot in their careers individually. I think, though, that they need to prove it as a tag team, that they can do this. I think they can be a great tag team if they can get on the same page. If Lord Mitchell Taylor will allow this tag team to gel, if they'll allow it to be. It just seems like he hasn't quite been so receptive to really letting this tag team grow. On the other hand, you've got two young guys, like I said, that are hungry, but I'm not so sure that they're always focused. And I think that's going to be the main thing to watch when it comes to smoke and mirrors in this match. Are they focused? I mean, half the time it doesn't even look like Cushman, knows what's going on, knows that he's supposed to be at shows. When it was Mick Diamond presented this matchup to him, I don't think Cushman quite understood that they were going to have a tag match with Derek Stone and Lord Mitchell Taylor. So it'll be curious to see how focused those two are coming into this matchup.
Yeah, so true. You have a prediction here?
I know that what Derek Stone and Lord Mitchell Taylor are capable of. I know that they, experience-wise, I mean, they've got light years more than smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
But I'm not so sure that they can get on the same page. I'm saying that this is a prime setup for a huge upset. I'm going to go with the young team of Smoke and Mirrors to pull off their first big win as a tag team and really climb the ladder in this tag team division. I've got Smoke and Mirrors getting the upset.
Okay. All right. I'm going the opposite. I'm going to go with the experience, unless the only caveat I am going to go with is they use this term in a lot of other sports areas, and that's catching lightning in a bottle. And if that is going to happen for Smoke and Mirrors, I think this would be the first step for that, for now and into the new year. So you never know. But I think if that does happen, I think this is going to be that first little spark in that bottle for them. So we'll see what happens on No Thanksgiving. Next up, we have Remy D versus CBD. A grudge match in the building. It's been building for quite a long time. Finally, Remy's going to be able to get face-to-face in the ring with CBD. What do you have to say about this?
So let's talk about the history here. This goes back to, I believe, Peak of the Pack. Wow. When CBD, upset Remy D, won the Charge Championship. Remy D got a rematch, which he also lost thanks to some underhanded tactics by CBD. Of course, that's what we always expect with CBD. He's always got some tricks up his sleeve. He'll break the rules and get away with it. That's what's happened here. And we know just how much that Charge Championship meant to Remy D. Remy took it very personal because of how he lost those titles. I think he would have been fine if it would have just been, a straight up, honest victory by CBD. That was not the case in either of the matches, and he's been trying to get some measure of retribution for quite a long time after that. He took over a month off. It was a long time before we saw CBD return, or I'm sorry, Remy D return at Shocktober, when he, made that return, or not. I'm sorry, not Shocktober. At Supercharged,
Right.
and then NRW, and so he made that return. Wanted to get his hands on one CBD at the Supercharged tournament. Cost CBD a match in the first round, and it's been a lot of shenanigans up to that. A lot of hoops that had to have been jumped through by Remy D. Don't forget, Remy D just had to beat Brew at Shocktober. Did that thanks to CBD making some deals with One Echo, and then of course we saw what happened this past Charged, where he tried to get Joey Hendricks and Enrique Calderon to take care of some business for him. Unfortunately, neither one of them were able to get the job done. And now we are going to get Remy D, CBD one-on-one. Finally, Remy D's gets a chance to put his foot right up CBD's backside, if you know what I mean.
To serve up some payback.
That's right.
Pardon the cliche.
a big helping, a big, huge helping of some payback is what's on the plate for CBD.
Yeah. You have any thoughts on how this is going to turn out?
Oh, I have no doubt in my mind that Remy D is going to just beat the holy hell out of CBD. I don't even think Remy D really cares about winning the match, as long as CBD doesn't walk out of the Wimmer Arena on his own tuition. It's got to be a major I say failure if Remy D does not just beat the hell out of one CBD. I think that it's going to be Remy D is going to get the win, but I think he's going to embarrass and hurt CBD. CBD better bring everything that he's got to the table. We know that he's not above bringing weapons. He's not above low blows and all that stuff. He's going to have to do all that to walk out of the Wimmer in one piece.
I definitely agree. It's a long time coming, and Remy D, I think, is just going to. I think he might even play with CBD for a while and not finish him off too quickly.
Oh, he's going to enjoy it. Trust me. Yes, he's going to do it with a smile on his face.
All right, next up, this one really intrigues me. Of course, Rocky Mountain Pro listeners, if you are listening to this and, of course, watching the shows, you know that we had our last ignition that's going to, live ignition, that's going to be for a while. It's going into, quote-unquote, hibernation. So we got the ignition champion, Sergey, taking on the charge champion, Briscoe Crown, and the stipulations, or what's at stake here, is if Sergey wins, he's going to get a charged championship title shot at the next Supercharge. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
And the thing is this is the other thing. He's putting up his ignition title.
Right.
So if he can defeat Briscoe Crown at No Thanksgiving, he's going to put up his ignition title in order to get that charged championship matchup. So he's putting up everything. This means a lot to Sergey. Sergey has been great as ignition champion, but I think Sergey wants more, and he's willing to take that next step. He's willing to give up that ignition title that means so much to him. I think that is, that says a lot about the competitor in Sergey. We look at Sergey sometimes, and he's can be kind of goofy, and we don't always take him seriously. I don't think you can doubt that he takes professional wrestling seriously. He he has a very unorthodox and unique way of going about it. It's not always pretty, but he loves what he does here at Rocky Mountain Pro. He loves being a professional wrestler. But I got to tell you, though, he is going up against one of the guys that I think has to be in the running for Superstar of the Year. Mm-hmm. If you were going to talk about a guy who's had a tremendous year and won Briscoe crown. Briscoe has, just been amazing this year. Just able to, climb. He's climbed the ladder, and just starting off the year, he was, one of those up and comers. And here we are towards the end of the year, and he's been charged champion, for a few months now. He's been defending that title as much as he can. Of course, he had that big setback with that elbow, was out for a month. And now he's right back where he left off, winning matches, being impressive. This is a tall task for Sergey to knock off one Briscoe crown, that really no one's been able to defeat Briscoe in the past few months. And some of the biggest names that we've had here at Rocky Mountain Pro have not been able to do it. So Sergey is going to have to bring the best match that we've ever seen him. He's going to have to come in that capacity, because it's going to take more than Sergey's A game, really. I think he's going to have to be the best that he's ever been.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned it, and do you think that Briscoe will be ready for that unorthodox style that Sergey brings? Because I don't think Briscoe has faced anybody the likes of the offense, the unorthodox offense that Sergey does bring.
Well, let's not forget, we saw these two wrestle on Charged a few weeks ago. This is kind of how this match came about.
Right.
Sergey lost to Briscoe. Briscoe had his hands full with Sergey. He definitely looked like he was a little bit taken aback by the unorthodox offense of Sergey, but in the end, he handled it. That's when Sergey realized, though, you know what? I had Briscoe on the ropes. I think I can beat this guy. I'm going to go ahead and issue the challenge. It was, accepted with, there was some stipulations by Briscoe and, of course, Danger Dean that, before you do this thing, Sergey, before you decide you want to give up your Ignition Championship, I need to make sure that you're worthy of it. Got to beat me in a non-title matchup, and then we'll have this matchup. Yeah. So that's what we're getting here at No Thanksgiving. Remember, this is a non-title matchup, but this has everything on the line for Sergey.
Yeah. And what do you think about this that I just thought of? We saw this training video of Sergey this past episode of Charged. Do you think it might be either a red herring or a Trojan horse to kind of, make, because of course I'm pretty sure Briscoe watched this and has seen and is probably taking notes, but is Sergey maybe trying to, confuse Briscoe by letting this be out there and letting him see this?
Maybe we're giving Sergey too much credit. I think Sergey, this was just a genuine thing by Sergey. He wants to show that he's taking this seriously.
Right.
We know that Sergey's not the most graceful when it comes to doing moves off the ropes and, kind of moving around in the ring. Not the most graceful, but it's effective. And, I maybe there's a possibility. Maybe I'm selling Sergey short, but I think this is just Sergey being Sergey, doing kind of some goofy Sergey things. But, that's what he knows. I think that's why the RMP faithful love Sergey. And this is just the genuine Sergey, I think, what we're seeing.
Any predictions on this? So I'm really feeling a toss-up.
Yeah, it's kind of a toss-up, but if I have to go a certain way, I'm going to go with my heart here. And pull for Sergey because I want to see Sergey get an opportunity.
Yeah.
And I want to see how he does at that next level.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that I'm thinking Sergey will find a way to pull this out. It's gonna be something when he does, because I think anyone that has watched Rocky Mountain Pro, obviously over the past few months, I don't see how you could think that Sergey can beat Briscoe Crown, in a regular match. But Sergey's done some things that we never thought he would do. He defeated Zamore. Who would have thought that? So who's to say that he can't pull this one out? So I'm going to go ahead and go with my heart and say that Sergey finds a way to win this match and get to that next level and get a Charge Championship matchup.
Yeah. I'm going the same way, and only strictly the fact because I want to see Sergey compete for the Charge Championship. I just think it would be fun to see that on the next Supercharge. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. Next up, we've got the Tag Team Championship match. Current champions Choppa City, they're taking on the Untitled, and that is the Buffalo Brew and Echo Busan. And Choppa City, of course, is comprised of Atiba and Bruce Wayans. This is going to be, I think, a very physical, intense, action-packed match, because I think both teams take a little bit of both of those and add it to this match. What do you think about this match and that?
Man, this is quite a matchup, and let's talk about kind of how we got here as far as the formation of this duo of Echo Busan and Brew. Echo, I don't know if he had been planning this for a long time, even when he was teaming with Balaam, as La Isla. I don't know exactly when it all came about, but he had it in his mind that Brew was the perfect partner for him. And honestly, what we've seen over the past couple months, I don't know how you can argue with that. Brew, since kind of being led by Echo, he has been almost unstoppable. He has looked great. I mean, last night on Charged, he got a win over Damon Ace.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And it's really been like that for a while. It's just, we've seen Brew just stack up win after win, and Echo as well. Echo has been great. It's like those two have just really been feeding off one another in singles action. They've had some tag team victories. They look to be ready for Choppa City. Choppa City has looked tremendous as tag team champions. They've been fun to watch. They're fan favorites. It's like a party every time they come to the ring. They've got this great cohesiveness, obviously, but the way that Brew and Echo have gelled, they look to be like the most formidable tag team that Choppa City's faced during their title run. I don't mean to kind of be a party pooper here, but if we're really looking at Choppa City's run here as tag champions, they've had a little bit of luck when it comes to who their opponents have been at the last few pay-per-views because of things that are beyond their control. But at the same time, it was supposed to be CBD and Dalton McKenzie at Shocktober. Well, CBD didn't show up. CBD was afraid of Remy D, so it didn't show up to the Wimmer, and Dalton McKenzie had to wrestle by himself. Before that, when they won the tag team titles, Lord Mitchell Taylor's didn't have a tag team partner, so they've had a little bit of good luck. Now this is their real first test, and it's going to be interesting to see how they respond going up against a tag team that seems to be just as well-oiled machine as they are, and you've got kind of a good matchup here where you've got two big men, one on each side when it comes to Brew and the final boss, Bruce Waynes, and of course, kind of the quicker guys, the guys that like to do a little bit more of the high flying and some of that in Echo and Atiba. It's a good matchup. I think if you're a fan of the tag team wrestling, I think this is a matchup you are not going to want to miss.
Yeah. And then what about the experience factor that Echo Busan has in this match, especially, that he's taken Brew under his wing? What do you think about that?
Well, I think I think that makes a big difference. It's helped Brew out tremendously. I think that's why we've seen Brew really kind of step up. And honestly, if I'm being honest, Brew is at the best that he's ever been in his career.
Yeah.
And so I think that's been a lot to do with Echo and his mentorship. But you've got two guys who maybe don't quite have the years that Echo's put in, but they've been in big matches after big matches in their career, both of them. Right. I'm talking about the final boss, Bruce Waynes, and Atiba, two former Rocky Mountain Pro champions, two guys have held all kinds of gold and wrestled all over the country. So there's a lot of experience on the other end. It's just going to be, who's really got the most momentum. It's both teams have a lot of momentum going into this matchup. We're going to see who it pays off the most when it comes to this matchup.
Yeah, so true. Your thoughts who could pull out the victory in this one?
Man, this might be the hardest match for me to predict because, to me, the Entitled have they've been I think the biggest force in this match, the biggest force in Rocky Mountain Pro over the past month or so. They've also been bullies. What they've did to poor cameraman Kevin, I do not condone one bit. I think that's shows a lack of professionalism, a lack of class between those two, but they don't care about any of that. They just care about winning and making a statement. So is that going to be enough? I'm going to say that it's not. I think Chapa City finds a way to carry the momentum they've had. They'll figure out a way to maybe isolate one of the other, whether it be Echo or Brew, and kind of cut off the way that they can work as a tag team. I'm going with Chapa City to retain their tag team titles.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with that too. I think that, like you said, I think this is going to be a big test for Chapa City, and I think if they do pull out the victory, I think it's going to be a squeaker. It's going to be that darn close between these two teams. All right. Well, next up we've got the Lockett's Championship match. Adrian Mascara versus Lilith Grimm. Lilith getting another title shot to get the Lockett's Championship back. What do you see about this?
Well, this is a rematch from NRW when she lost the Lockett's title to Adrian Mascara. Adrian Mascara has been, we talked about Briscoe Crown really having a hell of a year. Adrian Mascara, I think's up there as far as just having one of the breakout. She's probably the breakout star Rocky Mountain Pro this year. Just came on the scene and just has gotten better and better and better. And she's the Lockett's champion right now. And I still think there's a ton of room for improvement, which is kind of hard to fathom that she's only going to get better from here because she's been great. So that you've got Adrian Mascara, who pulled off that upset at NRW. I think caught Lilith Grimm by surprise a little bit. Ever since that loss, we've seen changes from Lilith Grimm, and it's been she's become bitter almost, and Noelle has played a part in that. With Noelle going under the tutelage of Sin Bodhi and Happy, I think that kind of triggered Lilith Grimm, and Lilith thought to herself, I was like a big sister to you. I took care of you. I was almost like a mother figure to you, and you went on this other path and wouldn't take my tutelage, and now all of a sudden you're going to come around and be mentored and be willing to learn under Sin Bodhi and Mr. Happy. I don't think Lilith took that well. I think that's kind of what took her over the edge, and now she's just been this violent, vicious person, as violent as I've ever seen her. We've obviously know that she's capable of this, but this is even more than what we've seen from her in the past, even as the demon. Yeah. This is just her just in a rage, and she's going to take it out on Adrian Mascara. Now, whether or not she can translate that aggressiveness and that viciousness into a win, that's something else to be determined. But Adrian Mascara is seeing a different Lilith Grimm this time than she did at NRW.
Yeah, so true. And like I said, she's Lilith's getting another championship title shot here to regain that title. When it comes to predictions, I kind of think, and sometimes this is happening. It seems to happen a lot with the Locket's Championship. It kind of has this nice roller coaster effect that it seems like a lot of the Lockets, there's a lot of stuff happening with them, and it seems like there's a lot of the gals there, competing and eyeing that championship, and it gets a lot of chaos happening, and I think this time around, Lilith probably is going to pull out that victory and regain the Locket's Championship this time around. What do you think?
One thing I also forgot to mention is who's kind of behind this, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this person here probably in this next match that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
But Damon Ace had a hand in this as well, because he got a little bit in the head of Lilith Grimm. He planted the seed of what was going on, but with Noelle and got Lilith Grimm kind of involved in this. I think he had a little bit to do with this transformation that we've seen Lilith to, kind of be this aggressive person. And if Damon Ace had a hand in it, you got to think that she is going to be more ruthless than ever. This ruthlessness, I think, is going to come in very handy, because I don't think Adrian Mascara has been ready for this type of matchup that she's going to be in store. So yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I think that we're going to have Lilith Grimm regain her Lockheads Championship and become the 2-time Lockheads champion at No Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So the next match, you just foreshadowed it, alluded to it. We got the NRW Championship, Sin Bodhi, the champion, taking on Jason Knoll. Now, we don't know what the stipulation for this match is yet, but any thoughts or predictions of what it could be?
Well, for me personally, I think that Sin Bodhi is always trying to evolve himself. He's always trying to maybe even one-up himself. Think about the match that we saw at Shocktober.
Right.
We saw that Carnival Death match. That was the damnedest thing I think we have ever seen at Rocky Mountain Pro. One of the damnedest matches I've ever seen as a fan of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable what we witnessed. And there's a history here between Sin Bodhi and Jason Knoll. They've had some big matches in the past, had some issues. Once again, Damon Ace planting the seed with Jason Knoll, trying to, say that Sin Bodhi is trying to make a name for himself, or at least use Jason Knoll to try to get his way here at Rocky Mountain Pro. I think that's definitely not true. This is obvious that what Damon Ace is doing. He's using Jason Knoll to try to get to Sin Bodhi.
Right.
I'm not sure quite what the end game is for Damon Ace. If he's hoping that Jason Knoll will knock off Sin Bodhi and get the NRW championship, so that way he can maybe get a chance at Jason Knoll, or if that he's hoping that Jason Knoll can soften up Sin Bodhi. I'm not exactly sure what Damon Ace's his end game is here, but he's definitely playing some mind games with Jason Knoll, trying to use Jason Knoll to get back at Sin Bodhi. I just don't know exactly what it is he's trying to accomplish here. But talking about the match itself, though, Jason Knoll has been extremely, extremely dangerous as of late. He's started to rack up some wins too. He's, it took him a while after he left your starting lineup and, got rid of the whole Batu persona and just trying to get to this diamond standard that he once was. It took a while. We weren't seeing the results. He wasn't being very successful in the ring, but now we're seeing this aggressive side to Jason Knoll. It's starting to result in victories, which makes it a very interesting matchup going up against Sin Bodhi. We know how dangerous Sin Bodhi is, how unpredictable he is, but this is a guy in Jason Knoll that knows Sin Bodhi. He's had some tremendous wars with him. This could be a bit of a surprise here. Don't be surprised if Jason Knoll comes out and surprises Sin Bodhi a little bit, because I think this is a different Jason Knoll than Sin Bodhi has seen in their previous matchups.
Yeah. So I asked you about what you think the stipulation match is. Now, this is great. This is great timing. At the time of this recording, Halloween was yesterday.
Yes.
Today is November 1st, which means then we turn the for the people that celebrate it or just are aware of it. We've got Day of the Dead.
Dia de los Muertos.
There we go. Forgive my Spanish, but there you go. It goes through the 2nd. Well, No Thanksgiving is happening on November 2nd. So is Sin Bodhi kind of a somebody that kind of maybe looks at those kind of things, and maybe we might have some kind of stipulation that kind of goes along that theme?
Yeah, it's possible. The Warlord of Weird, even though he's unpredictable, I think there's always a method to his madness. So I think that's a very strong possibility that he thinks of those things. But at the same time, you never know what's going on in that crazy mind of his. So I don't even try to attempt most of the time to think about what goes on in his mind. I just am trying to get myself prepared for anything and everything, because I really think that he's capable of anything, especially when he's able to pick the stipulation.
True. And you got a prediction for this?
I did say that I think this is going to be the best version of Jason Knoll that Sin Bodhi has seen. But with that being said, I don't think Sin Bodhi went through all that hell against Damon Ace just to lose the NRW championship in his first title defense. I think he's going to have a stipulation ready that's going to throw off Jason Knoll just enough, and I think he's going to come out in victorious in what's going to be a very competitive matchup. Yeah. Just because of what we've seen from these two in the past, it's going to be extremely competitive, but I've got Sin Bodhi pulling out a victory in this match.
Yeah, I concur. I believe Sin Bodhi is going to retain the NRW championship as well. Then finally, we've got the RMP championship. Curtis Cole, the champion, taking on Dak Draper. Now, we talked about history, where No Thanks Given came from history, but boy, do we have some history between these two combatants. You want to fill the listeners in on this?
Yeah, when Curtis Cole first started training to become a professional wrestler, coming up in the Mercury Pro Wrestling Academy, which is now Al Snow Wrestling Academy, Rocky Mountain. One of his, the guys that was a trainer of his was Dak Draper. Dak Draper helped kind of get his career going. It was kind of a struggle at first for Curtis Cole when he first started training. But once he finally got, to a point where he was starting to really get this world of professional wrestling, he skyrocketed really quick. I think Dak Draper had a big hand in that. I know that over the past what has it been, 6 years since that time, that Dak Draper has kind of come and go over years. We haven't seen much of Dak Draper, especially over the past 3 or 4 years. But this past year, we've seen more of Dak Draper, and Curtis Cole has been one of the few constants here at Rocky Mountain Pro. One of the few guys that still remains from the roster, when he first started back in 2016. So Curtis Cole carries a lot of hatred. I'm not sure if hatred or is the right word, but he's vindictive of the guys that kind of have went on to do other things and then come back trying to reestablish themselves as a championship contender. He takes that very personally. He's very bitter about that. You can notice, and we've seen this this just attitude out of Curtis Cole that I don't think nobody likes Curtis Cole. He's made himself just to be a despicable human being because of the hatred that he kind of carries. He has hatred towards the Rocky Mountain Pro faithful. He has hatred towards commentators like myself and guys like the Dudes and Belts. He just doesn't like anyone, and he's made a lot of enemies. Dak Draper takes a lot of pride in what he helped build here at Rocky Mountain Pro. He's always tried to be that guy that even when he wasn't always here full time, that he tried to always leave in good graces. He always tried to leave Rocky Mountain Pro better than when he first, when he came back. He's always trying to make the younger generation of wrestlers better here at Rocky Mountain Pro, and always trying to do the right thing. I think it's the exact opposites in this matchup of what they've of how they've carried themselves and what they've meant in this company. But with that being said, we still can't take away from the fact that Curtis Cole is one of the most successful Rocky Mountain Pro stars that we've ever had. He's going to be a first ballot Rocky Mountain Pro Hall of Famer whenever he decides to walk away. There's no doubt about that. How good he is in the ring, we've seen that. We saw that at Shocktober when he beat Danger Dean. Regardless of how he won the matchup, he finds a way to win. That's just what he does. He just wins. And Dak Draper is going to have to be at the top of his game. Dak Draper is, by all accounts, one of the greatest athletes that we've ever had here at Rocky Mountain Pro. One of the most accomplished guys as far as what he's accomplished outside of Rocky Mountain Pro as well. Mm-hmm. So this is a legitimate main event, great main event for this no Thanksgiving. I'm going to say that this is going to be one of the best main events that we've seen on a pay-per-view in a long time.
So when we talk about history, when it comes to Rocky Mountain Pro, when I got introduced to Rocky Mountain Pro, Dak Draper was the champion-ish when I was there, when I got introduced to Rocky Mountain Pro. And Curtis Cole was one of the first wrestlers that I met on the roster. So this is going way back, turned back the clock for me, and it's very interesting to see this. And I see a lot of, you talk about Dak training Curtis, and I see a lot of similar movesets and the way they move. So it's very interesting to see that. So I'm going to be excited to watch this match. It's going to be very exciting to see that. And like you said, this is going to be a great main event, especially bringing No Thanksgiving for this type of premium live event for our fans. So this is going to be something for them to sit back and enjoy. Would you agree with that?
Oh, totally. This is a big match. This has a big match feel to it. I think it's, you look at the way that Curtis Cole has just, you may not like how he wins. I don't like how he wins. I can't stand the guy, but you just look at, he figures out a way to when he's pulled off the most improbable of victories this year when he defeated David Drake. So to that alone, I have a hard time now seeing how he's going to lose if he could pull off what was at the time what we thought was the unthinkable. This is the big match.
Yeah. Wager prediction on this one?
This is ultra hard. I've picked against Curtis Cole that basically every damn match, and he always figures out a way to win. So you know what, I can't pick against him anymore. As much as it pains me, I have this pit in my stomach doing this, but I think Curtis Cole figures out a way to defeat the great Dak Draper. As great as Dak is, as phenomenal as athlete as he is, Curtis Cole figures out a way to win again and walk out as the Rocky Mountain Pro champion.
Yeah, I definitely would concur with that. I'm going to stick with you on that. I think, yes, Curtis finds a way. All right, so listeners, there you go. There's your preview for No Thanksgiving coming up at the time of this recording tomorrow, Thursday, November 2nd. So it's going to be an exciting match to see, or exciting card to see, I should say, with all the matches. Then next night we are going to be at Bierstadt for our next round of charged recordings for all the charged episodes there on YouTube, and then we'll have more stuff throughout the month for everybody. So it's going to be an exciting time. But we're not going to stop. We're still going to have a lot of content for the listeners and the viewers to watch with when it comes to Rocky Mountain Pro.
Yeah, a lot of changes going on as well. So make sure you keep up with us on everything, as we've already have some changes to our programming as far as the Dudes and Belts and our Rewind show that we do on Sundays and Recharge now is exclusively on Twitch. So if you want to watch some of that content, make sure you follow us on Twitch. Give us, give us a follow so you can keep up with all that. We're still going to have our great programming on our YouTube channel as well. So, but some changes, and there'll be some more changes that are going to be announced in the upcoming months as well. So, keep up on all of that.
Yeah, and you and I know behind the scenes we are seeing the 2024 schedule be assembled, and hopefully I'll be able to get Yaden on to just kind of go over some of the fun stuff that's going on. And I'm liking the changes. I'm liking how things are getting basically paired together, and some of the new stuff that we're going to be doing, as well as some of the fan favorite stuff. Have you been looking at that schedule as it's being assembled as well?
I have. I've been taking some peeks at that, liking some of the things I'm seeing. It looks like we're going to be at some new venues, some new cities, possibly coming up next year, places that we haven't been before, and a little bit different things as far as how we are going to be doing tapings and pay-per-views as well in 2024. So you're definitely going to want to stay tuned, because there are going to be some cool things happening.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, well, Lucas, I think that's a great place to put a nice little RMP purple bow on this episode. Remind the people they want to follow you out there on the social medias. Where could they do that?
So I'm on X, Facebook, Instagram at RMP Encyclopedia. You can follow me on there. Also, make sure that you check out, like I said, check out the Rocky Mountain Pro Rewind, which I'm a part of every Sunday night, 7 o'clock Mountain Now time. If you want to chat with us on there, you can do that. And of course, I will be on calling the pre-show for No Thanksgiving, so you can also watch YouTube tomorrow night. The free pre-show will start at 6:15.
Right. Yeah, fantastic. All right. Well, Lucas, thanks once again for coming on, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow and this weekend.
Looking forward to it. Pleasure as always, Mr. Fourth Row.
Once again, a big, huge thank you to Lucas Bradwell for coming on to RMP Radio once again and help previewing this upcoming live event that we've got coming up, this premium live event, No Thanksgiving. If you want to get tickets to this, head over to rmpwrestling.com, click on that events link, and you'll be able to purchase right there from there. If you are following your favorite Rocky Mountain Pro superstars, commentators, referees, the etceteras, all of us have a percentage off code that you can use when it comes to the tickets. Make sure you are following us and use the code that you would like to use. If you're unable to attend in person, and I think you are a turkey, of course, I am kidding for not being able to come to the live show. You, of course, are able to watch our live events on our YouTube channel. Make sure you do subscribe right there. It's only $9.99. Tier 2 gets you those live events and the interaction with the chat room on the YouTube channel. And, of course, then you also can watch all the past episodes of Charged and the past pay-per-views, live events, all those fun things. And of course, we're going to be doing a lot more and putting a lot more up there to earn your $9.99 a month. Now, remember, as that was put out there on the last episode of Recharge with the Dudes and Belts. The Dudes and Belts Recharge and the Rewind will be switching back over to Twitch exclusives. So if you want to support us there, that would be great. Subscribe using, your, if you have an Amazon, of course, you can subscribe using your Amazon Prime account on there. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and then it's a nominal fee to subscribe on the Twitch channel. Is it still, I think, $4.99 a month or so, right around there? Don't quote me on that. It's been a while since we've been on Twitch, had the two things. So now you'll have to, if you want to get the full RMP experience, get both those subscriptions, and we greatly appreciate and hope we are earning your money for you guys subscribing to both of those platforms. Speaking of money, if you want to help support the Rocky Mountain Pro Superstars, Rocky Mountain Pro, the etceteras, hit our merch stand at each and one of our live events. You'll see me. I'll be able to help you out, pick you up something. And I've got a lot of deals that are going to happen through the end of the year. I want to clear some merchandise, open some shelf space for the new year, get some things discounted. Just follow me on the social medias and the such. And of course, I can deliver and ship things. Of course, delivery in the Metro Denver area or even the Front Range of Colorado, not too bad to do that. And then, of course, ship, just inquire with all that stuff like that. Got a lot of great deals happening, so help support the Rocky Mountain Pro Superstars and the Rocky Mountain Pro company as well. We would greatly appreciate it. And, of course, it's gift giving season, so a lot of things, might catch your eyes for your wrestling fan in your life. Now, of course, remember, like I did mention, youtube.com/Rocky Mountain Pro for your live events, twitch.com, or twitch.tv/ is it RMP Wrestling, I believe, but if you just search for Rocky Mountain Pro, you guys are subscribed and get notifications when Rocky Mountain Pro goes live on Twitch, right? Yeah, from last time. If you aren't, of course, just do that. It's simple as that, to watch those review shows, and of course you'll get the pre-show for No Thanksgiving will be on Twitch as well as YouTube. So pick whichever one you want to watch the pre-show on, and then switch over to YouTube if you're watching on Twitch, and then watch No Thanksgiving this upcoming Thursday. Then, of course, so like I said, we are going to be back at Beer Stop for our charge tapings. That is a free event to attend, so we would greatly appreciate if you want to come out and have a fabulous Friday there. I guess that's first Friday, isn't it, of the month? So that's going to be exciting there. And then that's it for a little while. We've got Supercharged on the horizon, and it's going to be exciting towards the end of the month. But there's going to be a lot of RMP to experience between now and then and throughout the end of the year. So just stay tuned to all of our social medias. Let me remind you, it's easy as RMP Wrestling everywhere, on Facebook, on X, or Twitter, because I think 69% of people still call it Twitter, and then of course on Instagram, on Kick, on Rumble as well. So if you guys can subscribe and get notifications on all those platforms, we greatly appreciate it. Got a lot of videos, I think, going up on the Rumble and the Kick as well, so greatly appreciate if you want to get all that. And of course, follow all your favorite Rocky Mountain Pro superstars as well, on the socials. We would greatly appreciate it. As always, I want to thank you for listening to this edition of RMP Radio, where pro wrestling is elevated.